This Epstein situation is not going away. Donald Trump is literally throwing everything in the kitchen sink at trying to make this Epstein crisis go away because his base is not letting this go. If you go online any day, any given day over the last month, the number one thing or one of the top things you will see trending is Epstein and Donald Trump. This is not going away. His base is not letting this go. Some of them have fallen in line and are now like, oh, move on, blah, 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 blah. Tabitha Speaks Politics. She had a whole side-by-side comparison on how fast people flipped. It was it was a really cool video that she posted. I thought it was hilarious. But now apparently Trump aides are trying to plead with Joe Rogan to end this Epstein crisis. Minions assemble. Vice President J.D. Vance is scheduled to host a dinner meeting at his residence to hash out the Trump administration's next move. The fact that the president of the United States now has to reach out to a podcaster to end this catastrophe, this PR move, wow. You would think at the White House they would have everything at their disposal, but apparently they don't have enough firepower to get rid of this Epstein crisis. So senior Trump administration leaders are reportedly looking at using megastar podcaster Joe Rogan to help tackle lingering fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein crisis. Trump officials are also considering the release of the audio from an administration interview with jailed sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell, sources told CNN. Vice President J.D. Vance is set to host dinner meeting at his residence on Wednesday evening, so this evening today, to hash out the Trump administration's next move on the Maxwell audio and transcript, the network said. The gathering will include Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and FBI Director Kash Patel, according to 3 sources familiar with the plans. They literally have to get all of these people together with a podcaster to figure out what they're going to do to make this go away. This is not going to go away. Last month, Blanche met with Maxwell, a longtime Jeffrey Epstein associate at the U.S. Attorney's Office in Tallahassee, Florida. According to CNN, the Department of Justice has been working to digitize, transcribe, and redact over 10 hours of audio. The group is expected to discuss whether to release the audio and transcript from Blanche's conversation with Maxwell. The meeting will attempt to craft a unified response to the handling of the Epstein case and the interview with Maxwell, according to CNN. 2 sources told the network that all but Vance are the core players shaping the administration's ongoing strategy regarding the Epstein files. Among the options under discussion is a media blitz led by Blanche. 3 people familiar with the internal talks told CNN that aides have floated a press conference or a podcast appearance with Rogan, who endorsed Trump in the 2024 election, but has also criticized the administration's handling of the Epstein case. Epstein, the disgraced late financier and convicted sex offender, died by suicide while in federal custody in New York City in August 2019, as he awaited trial on new sex trafficking charges. Officials in the first Trump administration determined that Epstein's death was a suicide. Still, conspiracy theories that he was killed to shield high-profile individuals, including Trump, Britain's Crown Prince Andrew, and former President Bill Clinton, have proliferated nonetheless. And in a second, once I'm done with this article, I have an article from the New York Times that show a New York Times reporter went inside of Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan, they call it his lair, his townhouse, in which there are some chilling photos of people that he was close to. Just stick around, it's going to get good. The Trump administration in February declassified and released files related to Epstein, but they were highly redacted and did not offer major revelations. A July memo from the DOJ and FBI said no additional material would be released. So Trump's MAGA base has been vocally critical of attempts to stop the release of the Epstein files. The Daily Beast has contacted the White House, the DOJ, and the FBI for further comment. 2 officials said the material from the interview could be released as early as this week. One of the internal debate centers on whether releasing the interview would reignite the Epstein scandal, something which some officials close to Trump believe has largely died down, which it hasn't. When asked whether the Trump administration would release the Maxwell interview transcript, the White House communications director, Stephen Chung, told CNN, quote, "This is nothing more than CNN trying to desperately to create news out of old news." Trump already addressed the issue in an interview with Newsmax, a real news outlet that routinely gets better ratings than CNN. Trump addressed the Blanche Maxwell meeting during a Newsmax interview last week, When pressed on whether the public would get to hear the contents of their conversation, the president said, "I don't know because I haven't spoken about it." But he's a very talented guy, Todd Blanche, and a very straight shooter. And I think he probably wanted to know, just to get a feeling of it, because we like to release everything, but we don't want people to get hurt that shouldn't be hurt. And I would assume that's why he was there. I want to release everything. I just don't want people to get hurt. And y'all complain about Kamala Harris having word salads. Like, come on now. Maxwell was convicted in 2021 for helping Epstein groom and sexually abuse underage girls. She's continuing to appeal her conviction, including a petition to the U.S. Supreme Court. Last week, Maxwell was transferred from Florida to a lower security facility in Texas. And when pressed on the matter by CNN host Caitlin Collins on Tuesday, Trump said, "I don't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did." He added of the jail switch. It's not a very uncommon thing. Trump always deflects about all this stuff. Like, you don't know. Like, every time something happens, he says he doesn't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so one of two things are happening here. Either you really don't know and you're just kind of an idiot, and you don't, or two, like, or yeah, one, either you don't know. One of three things is happening here, or maybe multiple of the three, or maybe all three. One, you're just a complete idiot. Two, you do know, but you're just straight up lying. Or three, your aides and the people who work for you are not giving you the information and making sure that you are aware of this stuff. So that means the people, and you guys want to talk about Biden not being in control and everybody else around him running things. Is Trump like letting everybody else around him run things without knowing exactly what is going on? Look at this. Inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan lair. What the In his 7-story townhouse, the sex offender hosted the elite, displayed photos with presidents, and showcased the first edition of Lolita, according to previously reported photos and letters. As a gift for Jeffrey Epstein's 63rd birthday, friends sent him letters in a tribute to the wealthy financier and convicted sex offender. Several shared a common thing, recounting the dinner gatherings that Mr. Epstein regularly hosted at his palatial townhouse on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Former Prime Minister of Israel, media mogul Mortimer Zuckerman, Woody Allen. What? This was a 21,000 square foot townhouse where he could flaunt and deepen his connections to the rich and powerful. Like, let me show you guys some of these photos. Him and Ghislaine Maxwell with the Pope. Look at this. Pope John Paul II, Mick Jagger, Elon Musk, and Fidel Castro. Larry Summers, former President Bill Clinton, and Richard Branson. With Trump and the future First Lady. Look at them. Look at these photos. Wow. Next to that was a framed dollar bill signed by Bill Gates, possibly as payment of a bet. I was wrong. Microsoft co-founder wrote over George Washington's face. Wow. Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Oh my goodness. There's like cameras in the corner of the room. Like, look at that. That's crazy. A second camera can be seen in the adjoining room. Like, that's creepy. The whole thing is just chilling. And I don't know. See, like, the problem with Donald Trump base, like these MAGA people, even Pam Bondi was freaking like getting so much airtime and getting so much clout over, I'm going to release the Epstein files. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And now the chickens are coming home to roost and they're trying to make it go away. Would you entrench people in a conspiracy theory? So like, is it a conspiracy theory now? Because like, clearly, like we're seeing all of this stuff. So there must be some more information that they have that they don't want to release. But all that to say, when you manipulate people's emotions like this and you run on, I'm going to release the Epstein files. If I'm there, I'm going to release it all. I'm going to be so transparent. And now like either nothing really does exist and you realize that you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right? You can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle. Or two, like there's stuff in there that you just don't want to come out because you know it's going to harm Donald Trump. And when Republicans say, well, Bill Clinton's in there, well, I said this before. So what? Like, what do you want us to do with that information? If he's in there, release it. Like people think that Democrats or left-leaning people hold other Democratic politicians to the same level that they hold Donald Trump, which is just not true. Like, if you truly care about accountability, if you truly care about justice for the victims who were harmed by this and bringing their assailants to justice, regardless of who they are or what their standing is, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, dude, if Bill Clinton's in there, bro, you got to face the music. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't tell you to go do all the stuff that you did, but you did it. You know what I mean? So no more two-tier justice system. Everybody needs to face the music. Everybody stand up. Like everybody got to, you know, like you got to stand in the paint, stand 10 toes down. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is absolutely insane. These photos, like I was shocked looking at them. I briefly glanced at them yesterday when I was thinking of like the show for today, but I'm just like, bro, like this is crazy. I don't know. Like and comment before you take off. Like and subscribe before you take off. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.